everybody, and happy Halloween. By the time you hear this, it will at least be Halloween or have been Halloween at some point in the past 200 years. So anytime you listen to this, happy Halloween from whatever previous Halloween you listened
Only
to this
200
episode.
years?
Yeah, I don't know how long Halloween's been around. I assume at least 200. Who knows?
Apparently you don't. Oh, man.
I don't know my
Michelle.
history. I know we're not going to get into it. It's a spooky
Samhain.
season. I don't need a history lesson. Don't need it. Don't want it. What I do want is to know who's here with me.
It's JD, I guess.
It's JD and it's Michelle. I don't even remember if I said that anymore. It is 3 a.m. So
How do we get this far into this podcast's history without you knowing shit about Halloween, Michelle?
I know a lot about Halloween.
Apparently not.
As far as I'm concerned, nothing happened before 1776 because that's when the Hamilton musical starts. There was nothing before Hamilton.
Well,
so anyway,
technically the Hamilton musical, I mean,
there was
let's
nothing
not do this.
before
well,
17.
I mean,
17. Anyway, okay.
So not even the first 19 years of Hamilton's life?
No, fuck that. Starts when he gets to America. That's when the musical starts. That's when history began. Yeah. You
okay, well,
he's like
guys,
the Big Bang Theory.
It's been a good time here doing this podcast for the last year and a half or so, but
this cannot be your breaking point. This cannot. I have not yet broken you, sir.
This is definitely the latest we've ever gone with a recording session, guys. It's 3 o'clock in the morning. We're getting this one cranked out. It's spooky season. It's totally worth it.
I'm playing with the Ouija board right now. Things are floating around my room. It's a good time. Good way to celebrate the holiday that's been around 200 or less years, a.k.a. Samhain. Samhain? I always forget. Yeah, Samhain. Thank you.
Samhain if you're dumb. Samhain if you know what you're talking about.
But I'm not. I attempted to say it the correct way. Okay, well, you know what? Best way to celebrate spooky season is with some spooky stuff. And earlier this month, last month, we had asked people to send us horror shorts because we wanted to watch a movie every day in the spooky month, aka October, but we did not want to have to record every single day. That was going to be a lot to do a full-length movie and a recording and drop that episode. So instead we did shorts.
Yet somehow we're still recording these episodes on October 28th. Oh my God.
Yeah, could be worse.
We almost
if these
made
were
it
full
work.
length, wouldn't have happened. But
no.
So it's been really cool getting to watch along with you guys though, because that's been the really cool thing. Is last year
for sure
October people couldn't keep up with us of watching what we selected every day. So it's really cool.
Really appreciate you guys keeping up with us this month. It's been awesome. Thank you so much, and thank you for interacting. Please do that more.
Yeah, I love talking to people.
We love chatting with you guys, and look, guys, the more we engage with you, the more activity we get out there, the more we're going to pop up in new people's feeds, and the more people will spread the gospel of We Watch Shudder.
Don't say that, because now they're like, well, shit, I want this to be my favorite underground thing so that when they're just famous enough to tour America and do live shows, then I can be in the front row and talk to them about veganism and make them so angry that they leave.
Look, if you're the kind of person who wants the things you love to not be successful just so that you can have your own personal little thing, I don't want you listening to my podcast because I'm broke, guys, and I need some cash. Come on, help a brother out. I'm so poor.
Well, now that we've gotten sad, let's get happy.
Once I make like a cool $1 million, then we can change our principles to be like, nah, man, fuck them. Don't sell out.
Underground AF will just disappear. Yeah. We're mustaches, so people don't know who we are anymore, and we can start anew. We started anew with a short film that we had not seen before.
Yeah,
and,
so I think the reason, I believe the way we settled on this one is we basically had been able to fulfill pretty much all of the requests that we had received, but there was one person who very kindly didn't just send us one request. I'm sorry?
The Mucking Foron.
Yes,
I
the
talk to
Mucking
them often.
Foron. Great name, by the way.
Yes.
Love that. The Mucking
They
Foron.
encouraged me to get a letterboxed account. So now there's a letterboxed account that has lists of movie recommendations in specific genres.
All
I have
mostly
lists
from
already.
Michelle, by the
Yeah,
way,
I had
because
them.
man, JD is terrible at lists,
I
and
have so many lists.
she's
You
so much
won't,
better at that than me.
you're going to be amazed when you hear what I did for October. I haven't told you yet. We'll get to it in the October recap
Oh
episode.
dear God. Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, guys. So yeah. And the fucking moron. I knew I was gonna do it. I knew it. Oh my God. Well, there's my room or goo moment.
Oh, man.
I'm so sorry. The
I'm not.
mucking forearm sent us multiple requests, and we wanted to make sure that we got to choose one of them. So we reached back out and said, "Hey, if we're only able to do one of these, which one should we do?" And it was a no-brainer. Apparently, came right back at us and said we should watch a short called Finley.
Yeah.
Yeah, I realized that was a really kind of I didn't really make it clear that I was trying to transition to you, Michelle.
Oh, excellent.
Uh,
Okay. Yeah. We watched a short called Finley.
that's
And
what
it
I
was
just
kind of nice.
said.
I I was reiterating so that if they forgot and they lost interest sometime in the last 10 seconds, which you know what, don't even blame you. But the mucking foron
Baby,
had said you
it's
guys are
3
gonna love.
a.m. I must be crazy.
Oh, really good job transitioning to me and then not interrupting. This is why we
I'm
don't record at 3
sorry.
a.m. The demons are angry and the demons are me. I am so tired. Okay. Finley, when we asked the mucking foron, what do you want us to watch? And he said, you will love this. It's a horror comedy. And I went, I don't think we have very many of those on the list. So I'm excited to get one. And it was definitely a horror comedy. I'll give you a quick breakdown. Finley, he's a dummy, both a material form and nature. He's just not very smart, but he is a ventriloquist dummy. And he decides, I'm going to murder these people. And the people are like, we hate being murdered. And Finley tries it anyway, but Finley's not good at his job. It's no wonder he was locked in the attic. So he just really wants to do the murder, and the murder's not happening, and he becomes basically a little pest. That they then have to be like, Finley, not again. Please stop trying to murder me. And then some people break into I don't know what's going on with JD, but no, we'll get back to it. I'll finish. Some people break in to steal some people. And the dummy's like, thank God, all these things that I tried to do, I learned from my mistakes. And then he kills the people in all the ways that he didn't kill the previous people. And now he saves these people, and the new people are dead. And then also the old people are dead. Oh, Finley, the end.
What broke me was we don't like being murdered. I don't know why it just broke me because, well, probably the 3 a.m. of it all, but holy
Yeah.
shit.
It's 3
Yeah,
a.m. I must be broken.
yeah, though that's for goddamn sure.
Oh.
Something I want to jump on right away here, Michelle, is actually your read on this of,
Oh.
he's trying to kill them and he's just bad at it. And then these people break in and he's learned from his mistakes and he's able to save everybody. My take on it was that when those people break in and we find him just brutally murdering these guys and protecting the family, my read on it was he could have killed any of them at any time whatsoever, and he's been just deliberately playing with them. Like, I took this, like, this is basically like, what if your house cat was a murderous horror movie puppet? It's basically what
They
this movie
basically are what the
is,
cats
right?
are.
Yeah,
It's basically
and
what cats
so
do.
that was my read on it, was that
Oh.
because he is so fucking good once it actually gets down to the real killing. And so that was the impression I took from it, is that what we find out is he's just really fond of this family and he's just been fucking with them this whole time.
Interesting. I totally thought he was incompetent, and that's funnier to me, so I'm going with that.
Oh sure, no, that's cool. But you did pick up on that whole like cat metaphor, right?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
I mean, they even compare him to the cat that shit on the carpet. They're like,
Oh
"Oh,
yeah,
you're
of course
gonna
they do. Yeah.
rub your face in it." Like, yeah, clearly he's like a little annoying house pet, and they're like, God damn it, Finley, not again. It's great. It was like a
Yeah.
little sitcom.
Yeah, it really well written. I thought I love the way that he systematically goes back through all the different ways he tried to kill people and and failed previously. And I'll give it to you that this is the one moment where kind of puts a damper on my whole he was a friend of them and just trying to be nice is because like like he does all the killing things and then like it hits me just as he refuses the eggnog and watches the first person drink the eggnog, and it just hits me and I was like, oh, you put fucking rat poison in the eggnog. That was the one killing method from earlier in the movie that they didn't come back to, and it played out just perfectly. I realized what was going on right before they showed us what's going on. I think that's the perfect timing. I think that's what you want when you're making a scene like that. Thought it was great, just really well done. I love how this starts out really ridiculous and funny, like a sitcom, like you mentioned, which I wasn't expecting. Like, obviously I knew going in it was horror comedy, but this took a left turn that I was not counting on at all. And then when the people break in, like, it gets down to some pretty serious horror movie stuff for a little while. But no, this was fantastic. They did so many great things with the presentation of this. I loved it.
I really love the character of Finley. They chose the best puppet used for this.
Oh, for sure, for sure. It's like this old ventriloquist dummy sort of puppet.
Yes.
Um,
This is apparently my month of puppets because we watched The Puppet Man for the show. We watched Finley, which I had no idea what it was about. And there's another book which Jenna and I have agreed is better if you know nothing about it. So I'm not going to say the title, but it essentially becomes a woman's family versus an evil puppet. So apparently
okay.
that's what I'm into this month. This is the puppet horror month. I got to go back and watch that I think it's what is it? It's a like Twilight Zone or whatever it was of the puppet that
Sure.
insults people. It's not Jeff Dunham, whatever the fuck that movie is from my childhood that I just had a
Magic?
vague recollection of. Yes, magic. I haven't seen that
Magic
since I
is
was a
fun when you're
retard.
dead.
Oh my god, I'm gonna go try to find magic. It's so good, but I did find the magic, and the magic is in this short that we
Yeah,
watched.
and then I also love the way after they've established the more sitcom-y comedic side of this, they have that moment where the people just kind of fucking melt down on Finley, and it's really emotional, right? Like he like makes his way back up to the attic, and there's a shot as he's going back up into the attic when he looks down the attic stairs and the cat is down there at the bottom of the attic stairs and they have like a moment. For a brief moment, I was like, at some point, Finley's going to come back out of this box and it's going to turn out the cat has murdered all these fucking people because
That
of the
was
way they were
good
playing
too.
the parallels on Finley being a cat. Obviously, it went to completely different places than that, but no, I it kept me guessing. It was a lot of fun. I really dug this a lot.
I forgot what I was gonna say, but I
Well,
agree
try to
in
remember.
general. I was, but then I was just thinking about magic, and my brain like shut off to anything else. Oh yeah, my one complaint will always be my complaint for anything 5 minutes or over, and that's please just make it shorter. Everything I'm like, yeah, but can we cut it down? If there's a 5 minute video, I'm like, yeah, but could it be three? Like, there's got to be
Yeah,
something, right? This could be a
there.
TikTok, like a 30-second thing. Can we make this a Vine in the 7 second limit? I got other things to do. Make this 25 minutes into a 7 minute loop. That's all I want.
I did feel on a couple of occasions, especially early on, I was like, okay, how many different goofy murders failing are we gonna see here? How long are they gonna? And I do appreciate the way they turned that on its head. But I think you're right. I think maybe it could have been trimmed down a little bit. I wonder if maybe the reason they have so many examples in the film is because they were kind of concerned that you would not forget about the rat poison, and so they kind of put in enough things to kind of maybe try and ensure that you don't remember any one particular one of them. But I think it would have still been effective. I think because you've been through everything else was like super violent and aggressive, and you've just been through all these kills. And I think I would have forgotten about the rat poison either way.
Well, I could have forgotten about it if it wasn't included in the 7-second loop Vine that they could have made instead of a 25-minute YouTube video. I got shit to
Michelle.
watch. Just make him murder them at the very end, and I go, what the fuck was that? I have a short attention span. 5 skulls. How I operate these days. I'm like, can I get through this in like the length of time it takes me to hold my breath? No, 0 skulls.
I don't think that's how you operate at all, Michelle.
Well,
Who are
maybe
you?
it
Are
is
you
now.
Michelle, or have you been taken over by a weird demon?
Today's the spooky day, and it is, well, when they're listening to this, but at the actual time, it is 3 a.m.
Are you
so
Michelle,
I
or are
may
you
have been-
somebody wearing a Michelle suit?
You may call me Bob. That's my demon name.
Bab. That's a weird way to pronounce that.
Bab.
What
I
was?
don't know if it's Bob or Barb. I don't know.
Here's a
3
fun
a.m.
question for you, Michelle.
Oh,
In
I
the
love
more
fun
comedic,
questions.
in the more comedic first half of this movie, what was for you the funniest single bit, like your biggest pop?
The toaster. I love the toaster.
The toaster. The
Yeah,
toaster
just because
was
that's
good.
like one of those things that I have a huge fear of because it like just the idea of like what voltage does it have to be? I don't understand enough to know like what would kill me in the bathtub. I'm dumb, so like no electronics near the bathtub. I don't understand. I don't want to get into this. I don't need to know the science. Just nothing plugged in. So then when he's got that toaster, I'm like, "Oh no. It's one of the things I really hate." And then it just doesn't work because he forgot to plug it in. But then I'm also yeah, I'm also scared though because I'm like, well, what would it have taken? Like, if he did plug in, would she die? I don't know what the voltage is. I got questions, and then I'm just like in this spiral of not understanding how science works, and now I'm spooked again. It's great.
That's
I love
awesome.
a toaster in a bathtub. What was yours?
My favorite. I love how you clearly know that I asked that question because I eventually wanted to get to mine. My favorite moment in this, not just because it was the very first one and sort of was extra surprising in that sense because I just popped and laughed out loud when I saw it, but when Blurry Finley comes running down the hallway with that knife the very first time he tries to kill one of them, looking like Chucky, and she does the thing that every fucking horror fan who's talked about how ridiculous Child's Play is does the very thing that we've all said we would do. If this doll came running at you with a knife, just fucking punt him. Just fucking kick him and run away. And that's exactly what she does. And I thought it was fucking great. Like, clearly a demonstration that these are people who know horror and they know the ins and outs of a lot of things. And I loved that. I thought that was fucking fantastic.
I had said earlier in the month when we watched the Chucky fan film, I think we both just said it has a lot of heart. But my issue was, you don't have a budget, you can't really make this Chucky move, so Chucky's doing everything off screen. But then I watched this and I went, oh, you can have a low budget and make a doll movie because the way that they use his body, I think it does have the benefit of being a comedy. So it's not like they had to use this puppet in a way that was menacing, but we still kind of see that with the camera angles that they give so that it looks like he's now leering instead of gleeful. Like they still managed to do it. But the fact that this is done just like upper body shots of him scampering around or like way down at the end of the hall and they probably had a child dressed up and out of focus or just like showing him peeking around. Like they did such a good job of taking something inanimate and I guess animating it. This was good. I really enjoyed it, and it made me giggle a lot.
It was a lot of fun. We finished watching it just before we started our 3 episode in a row marathon recording session tonight, and so I haven't had a chance to look into the folks who made it and see what other stuff they might have made. But this is definitely the kind of thing that makes me want to immediately do that, right? Just like what other rad shit have these people done? yeah, it was super great. I am so glad that the Mucking Foron sent this one to us. This was overall one of my favorite shorts of the entire month. This was awesome.
Ooh. Well, I have had a little bit of time to look into J. Zachary Thurman, who is the person who made this, and it's on his YouTube channel. And I don't want you to be disappointed. There's not a lot. However, that does mean that you can watch everything that they've done.
Sure.
Because there's only 3 things on their YouTube, and I think 6 on IMDb, if I'm remembering.
Cool.
So not a lot, but it does mean you can watch their entire catalog, just like we did with Ari Aster, of like, hey, I've seen everything they made and made available to people. Sweet.
You guys remember those Ari Aster shorts that we talked about earlier in the month? Michelle, I don't want to really rock the boat here too much on account of it being well after 3 a.m. now, but it just occurs to me that we didn't give any skull ratings for the music videos on Music Video Day, and I
didn't plan on it.
Oh, okay. If you didn't plan on it, then we're not going to go back. You guys probably already realized that we, in fact, did not go back.
I bet they didn't even care.
And do something about it, but
pretend to love us.
Yeah.
We do need to give a rating to Finley, though. Don't worry.
Yes,
I've got my
we do.
Already in the Excel spreadsheet. I'm ready. Ready to put your numerical score.
Finley, I like I said, I really liked this. I think there were some. They could have done some editing, and were probably erring on the side of caution because they really wanted to make sure certain effects stuck. And so maybe they were just a little too cautious. But overall, this is a good time. This one's a 4.5 for me.
4.5. I just really hate that basically all the shorts got a 4 or higher for Spooktober for me, which is nice. I mean, we picked things that we wanted to watch, but I just feel like a broken record that, like, hey, it's yet another thing I like. But yeah, this is yet another thing that I like. For the sake of simple math, I'll go a 4.5 too. I thought it was really high quality. I think a straight comedy isn't really ever going to be like a 5 for me. But this was fun. It was goofy. It was slapstick. It did make me want to see the other stuff, which does seem to be actual horror shorts. So
cool.
If we find some stuff worth talking about, we can always do bonus episodes later. But yeah, I'm really glad that this was a nice way to end after a very, very weird month, including everything from Ari Aster's gut-wrenching
strange thing about
the Johnsons, where the Oculus films began, fucking Too Many Cooks,
Halloween and La Vida Real. That was a trip.
Good. It was a weird month. I'm so glad we did this. We're going to do it in November and December and January. Every day a short film for the rest of our lives. Right?
No.
Are we announcing that?
God,
no.
God,
we're not announcing that? Is that not a thing we're doing?
Oh, God, no.
I misunderstood.
Michelle, please, no. Oh, God.
Okay.
God.
Well, Spooktober ends, and so do we. We
got
a figment of your imagination.
Oh, obviously we got the Hell House LLC Origins Carmichael Manor new drop tomorrow. Well, today actually, if you're listening to this on drop day, the new episode that we record will be early in the morning tomorrow, or forever ago if you're listening to this way down the line. It doesn't matter.
Pacific time zone. You never know.
Time's
a weird thing.
You do, Michelle, are you aware that because of time zones, every calendar date in the world is actually 36 hours long?
Did you know that life did not exist before Hamilton?
Say goodnight, Michelle.
Good night, Michelle.
We Watch Shudder is a production of Rat Factory Media, your home for all of today's Rat Factoryist podcasts. The views and opinions of the hosts and guests of We Watch Shudder are their own and do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of Rat Factory Media. But wait, aren't Rat Factory Media and We Watch Shudder the same people? Shut your cake hole, Charlie. Nobody asked you. We Watch Shudder is available free on all major podcast platforms, and the easiest way to support We Watch Shudder is also free. Just leave a rating and review on your platform of choice. Merge your consciousness with ours on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter. We're at We Watch Shudder on all those social media platforms. Or find us the old-fashioned way, on the web at wewatchshudder.com or by email at mail@wewatchshudder.com. Heck, you can even leave us a voicemail at 701-566-9510. No, seriously, 701-566-9510. Try it if you dare.